We come to you from the Spectrum, where it is always a raucous environment for the UNLV Runnin' Rebels and the Utah State Aggies. We've got two of the top scorers in the Mountain West on display tonight. Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn, the Conference Player of the Week, put up a career-high 33 last week against Boise State. And MJ Collins is having a breakout season to lead the conference at nearly 20 points per game. Hi there, folks. Nick Cope and Steve Prohm on hand. Great to have you with us. These two teams, Coach, have similar objectives. They want to create havoc on defense and push the pace on offense.
Three major keys tonight that you need for both teams tonight. Number one, who's going to control the glass, a big key. Number two, limit live ball turnovers, Nick. Both teams like to press and change defenses. And then number three, who's not going to get stagnant against all the changing defenses we'll see tonight.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for UNLV. Keep an eye on the hyper-athletic Tyron Jones. And for Utah State, Mason Falslev gives them a little bit of everything.
Tyron Jones, tremendous upside with this freshman. Leads the league in blocks, 2 offensive rebounds a game, and he brings tremendous energy to the Runnin' Rebels. Mason Falslev, the mayor of Logan, Utah, what the coaches said the most competitive player in the program. He has his fingerprints on all the success, all over the success of the program the last 3 years.
'53rd all-time meeting between UNLV and Utah State, a series that dates back to 1983. UNLV has not won here in Logan since 2016. That is 7 straight wins on this court for the Aggies. And tonight it is as loud as it always is, a second consecutive sellout, 3rd overall this season.
I've been looking forward to seeing this atmosphere, and it has lived up to the hype. Sellout crowd, the student section has already got their chants going. UNLV, they've got to do a great job in this first 4 minutes, controlling tempo and taking care of the ball.
Second year for Jared Calhoun, a remarkable record, better than 80% winning percentage here in year number 2. And on the other side, Josh Passer in his first year leading the Runnin' Rebels, his 15th year overall as a head coach. Of course, previous stops at Memphis and Georgia Tech. UNLV trying to make it 3 wins in a row. Utah State trying to stay perfect on their home floor, where they are 7-0 this season. Michael Irving, Rob Kuhneman, Luke Schumer are officials. And UNLV wins back the opening tip, and we are underway in Logan. UNLV getting wins last week against Boise State and San Jose State. They've won 5 out of their last 7 overall, and at 4-2 in conference play. Into the corner. Here is Jones, acrobatic. Left it a little bit short, gets his own miss. No, that's Fleming, in fact, helping him out. And a fresh 20 here for UNLV. Emmanuel Steffen, walled up by Keller. Finds some relief. Gibbs-Lawhorn off the heel. Battle for the rebound. Still loose, and it's ultimately picked up by Adlon Elamine for Utah State.
But you can see UNLV already active on the offensive glass. A big key for their success tonight.
Utah State losing at Grand Canyon last time out, snapped an 8-game winning streak, their first loss of the conference, and knocked them out of the top 25. Mason Falslev with a seam, and he breaks the seal on this ball game. 2-0 Utah State. Here's Steffen, had it knocked free. It's Elamine with the loose ball. Stepping through, and the reverse layup.
Nick, they spent all afternoon yesterday working on those scrape steals coming behind. They live off their defense and their steals.
It's the defense that's been much improved from Jared Calhoun's first season. And an early, easy 2 there. UNLV trying to get on the scoreboard. Errant pass, Fleming still finds it. Now it's Jones spinning baseline, levitating and left it short. And the rebound pulled down by MJ Collins. Now While the crowd quiets down, goes into a chant here with Utah State on offense. One of the most efficient shooting teams in the nation. Utilizing the entire shot clock here, down to 6 on the timer. It's Elamine. He sees the seam, hunts the basket, and short on the reverse. The rebound pulled down by Emmanuel Stephan, the sophomore out of Nigeria, and a transfer from Arizona. Gibbs Lawhorn has the taller Elamine on him. Needs some help. And locates Stephan. The double. Stephan harassed. Tries to get a deflection, and he does. UNLV will have the baseline inbound here with 10 seconds on the shot clock. But this Utah State defense is suffocating.
They are, and very smart play right there by Stephan to use it right there to get the ball off that Aggies defender and not use a timeout this early in the half.
UNLV 0 of 3 with the turnover to start the game. And that's off the hands of Jacob Benarbi. Tracks it down, 3 to shoot. He doesn't see it. Fleming steps in. I don't think he got it off in time. They'll let it go anyway, and the rebound tracked down by Collins. Falslev looks to push. Attacks inside. Count it, plus the foul.
When I talked with Jared Calhoun yesterday at practice, and you can see right here, Falslev strong to the basket, takes the contact, and one. Very, very physical drive. You can see he brings his shoulder into the defender and creates the contact, draws the foul for the and one. And the identity Jared Calhoun was talking about that he wants his team to be, his program to be, is the defensive end of the floor. And you can see that's already leading to easy baskets on the other end. UNLV, they've got to be able to handle this environment, this early punch right here by the Aggies.
Already 5 points for Falslev. He had 51 over the last 2 games entering tonight. Fleming flashes the middle, lobs for Jones, but it was short, gets it back. Jones under the basket, muscles, and that's rejected. Gary Clark got a hand on it, and a foul in the backcourt. All Utah State in the first 3+ minutes.
UNLV, and you can see right here, Tyron Jones, good shot fake, and then Gary Clark comes from behind, and again, Utah State, they are trained to attack the basketball. Gary Clark, really good job with the help right there and the block shot without fouling. You see UNLV picking up full court. They will change defense a lot. You'll see a lot of 1-2-2. You'll see some full court trying to take the point guard away right here. You can see they're trying to take Collins away, but a lot of changing defenses.
It's a UNLV defense that has been very good at generating turnovers. They reject shots. They steal the basketball. One of the best turnover margins in the Mountain West. 7-0 Utah State early on. Drake Allen, the point guard. Backing down the freshman Isaac Williamson, and he takes it all the way to the cup. UNLV searching on offense. Benarbi had it jarred free, but a foul. It was Falslev reaching in. He's one of the best at stealing the basketball. And a 9-0 Utah State lead.
And here comes Falslev down with the and one. Aggies 9-0.
Saturday, it's a college hoops doubleheader on Fox. First at noon Eastern, Villanova takes on Alex Caravan and second-ranked UConn. Then at 3, Keaton Wagler in Illinois battle Braden Smith and 4th-ranked Purdue. It all begins Saturday, only on Fox. Here in Logan, all Utah State in the first 4 minutes, a 9-0 lead. Aggies 4 of 5 from the floor, and on the other end, UNLV 0 of 5, having a tough time getting a quality shot.
Aggies defense, their identity is shown up in a big way to start the game.
And there's an errant pass, but Fleming is there as Barnaby made the cut inside. Now he's in the corner. Pressure from Colby King. And at the rack, Fleming missed it, but it's tipped in on the weak side. Kamani Hamilton finally has the first points for the Runnin' Rebels.
Very good job, Hamilton, right there. Number 6 in the conference in offensive rebounds. That's going to be a big key. They've got to keep up UNLV off the glass.
He's their second leading scorer, 12 points per game. On the other end, it's Clark. Back out for MJ Collins Jr. Hasn't had to do a whole lot just yet. Conference's leading scorer, 20 points per game. And that one was affected by the defense of Gibbs Lawhorn. And a loose ball foul with 6 on the timer. Kamani Hamilton just picked up his second foul.
Loose ball right there. You can see both those guys go for it, but Hamilton, he just can't give that extra shove. That's just a wasted foul where Josh Pastor and the Rebels, they need Kamani Hamilton in this game. We'll see if Josh Pastor will play in with 2 fouls.
Hamilton, a senior who transferred in from High Point. Began his college career at Mississippi State. And perhaps will be stapled to the bench for the rest of this first half. Here's Colby King on the dribble drive. Harassed by Gibbs Lawhorn. The follow-away is pure.
If you're UNLV, though, you'll live with that tough mid-range contested pull-up shot all night.
King's been a solid scorer off the bench, the senior out of Pompano Beach, Florida. And the lead back up to 9. Howie Fleming puts the ball on the floor. Jump stop and a foul. No basket there. The foul coming before the attempt there.
You can see right here, Colby King, a great drive. Gibbs Longhorn does a great job of keeping him in front. That's a tough shot. And all those analytics guys, they'll live with that mid-range jump shot.
The crossover and attacking, finishing Tyron Jones, freshman from Vegas, who went to school at Layton Christian Academy, about an hour drive south of here.
I've been really impressed watching Tyron Jones on tape. The activity he provides this team, the energy he plays with on the glass, great activity blocking shots. He's got a huge upside.
There was a seam there for a moment for Elijah Perriman, and the defense collapsed, fouling him. 2 shots coming for the freshman guard.
See Utah State right here, Elijah Perriman. He gets downhill. Tyron Jones late, and Perriman does a good job. Anytime you get a paint touch, you're doing a great job from the offensive end. Utah State playing 2 tremendous freshmen that are going to have great careers here. Elijah Perriman and then Adlon Elamine. We've seen both guys impact the game already in the first 6 minutes, Nick.
And for Perriman as a freshman, he's got a 2.0 assist to turnover ratio. That's impressive to see for a guy playing college basketball for the first time.
In the 6th ranked league in the country as a freshman, it is tremendous.
Grew up in San Francisco. Went to high school in the East Bay area. Splits the trip here, and how about that one-armed rebound by Tyron Jones. And by the way, that foul was not against him. It was Williamson with the body down low. So Jones still without any fouls, and he goes right back to work on the other end. Back-to-back layups for another freshman.
UNLV's just down 6 right now, 14 left in the first half. They've had opportunities. They've missed some shots around the rim. They just got to continue to settle down, and they've got to limit their turnovers and take care of the defensive end right here.
Falsled, the lone starter on the floor right now for Utah State. Clark spins. The hook shot short. Out it comes, and it's tracked down by Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Weaving his way into the front court, but forced to back it out by King. UNLV has weathered the early storm. The double comes into the corner. Back out, deep 3. Gibbs Lawhorn rolls it home, his first points.
Player of the week in the Mountain West Conference, had 33 we talked about at home against Boise State last week, playing with tremendous confidence.
UNLV pulls within 3. They've made their last 4 shots. And an offensive foul. It's King on the dribble handoff.
And that's the one thing you got to be careful with the dribble handoff. It's just those illegal screens. But you close out short. Gibbs Longhorn is playing with tremendous confidence. You've got to get out there early and get a good contest.
Those 33 points in the overtime win against Boise State, most by a Rebel in 3 years. Got to go back to when E.J. Harkless went for 35 in 2023. Cross-court pass, Fleming, quick release three, swish. Back-to-back triples for UNLV, and after they were down 9-0, we're all tied at 12.
We talked about it, shoot around.
Falslev inside and rejected and saved out of bounds. Tyron Jones with a heck of a defensive play after Falslev got the defender down onto his backside.
When you can see it right here. Falslev gets him off balance. Great job going vertical right there by Tyron Jones, and then he makes the save. When you watch him and you're recruiting and you look activity, energy, size, length, he's going to have a bright, bright future in Las Vegas.
He has just gotten better and better throughout the course of the season, and his defense has been showing up as late. Gibbs Lawhorn into the tall trees is rejected. Collins the other way. Can't finish with a one-hand flush, but he is fouled.
How about that from the senior? Go try to throw it down, big fella. And you can see great kick ahead, and then Collins with the attack. He's known for his shooting from outside three. We didn't know he had that kind of bounce, Nick.
And Fleming saves the poster for UNLV.
But that's why UNLV shot selection on the other end, Nick, is crucial in a game like this. With this type of environment, you've got the game tied after you've weathered the storm. Gibbs Longhorn has to take better shots when he gets into the paint. He gets in there. I called him hand grenades. You throw up a hand grenade, tough shot. And what does it lead to? It's going to lead to open transition offense for Utah State, and that's what they're at their best with fast break points.
And nearly a dunk that would have brought the roof down here in Logan as MJ Collins splits the trip to the free throw line. And out of bounds on the baseline is UNLV. Williamson running out of room, and the full court pressure gives it right back to the Aggies.
UNLV's got to be smarter in that situation. You can run the baseline after a made basket. You got to know you can run the baseline. And number two, you can't catch it that deep. Elamine provides great length and size in that trap. They've got to catch it higher up the floor, more in that slot.
And a foul here on the inbounds going against UNLV. Look like Fleming and Collins exchanging some words. Josh Pastner very upset. And both teams being told to go to their benches.
Josh Pastner needs to be careful right now. You've got a great start.
We will take a timeout. Utah State with a 1-point lead on home court against UNLV. 1-point lead for Utah State here in Logan. And let's take a look back at that last sequence. Oh, keep an eye on Emmanuel Stephen there at the top as Mason Falslev went to the deck. And so the officials were taking a look to see if there was anything to upgrade there. Michael Irving currently talking with Steve Prohm, so we will get the adjudication of that sequence here momentarily. And the intensity is certainly heated up here. So what was the word for Michael Irving, our official there, Steve?
Common foul. Howie Fleming, number 3, foul against Falslev.
After review, there is no flagrant foul on the play. It's common foul against UNLV, Utah State basketball.
All right, so just a foul on Fleming and nothing else.
Just a foul on Fleming, nothing else. Underneath out of bounds, Utah State. So I think Josh Pastner got what he wanted there.
Allen to inbound, finds Carson Templin. Falslev with a shot fake. No field goals in about 3 minutes for Utah State after they started the game on a 9-0 run. Down to 6 to shoot. Allen into the lane, jump stop, kicks it out. Falslev, deep 3, he's fouled. A hard closeout from Tyron Jones, who is shaken up, clutching his knee.
Your first thought right away, you hope nothing is wrong. You can see right here, Tyron Jones flying out at the shooter, and he just lands all on top of Falslev. So that's an obvious foul right there. Tyron Jones, as he sprints out there, He wants to try to high jump, you know, high jump for the contest, not long jump. He long jumps in, and that's going to draw the foul right there. But now your biggest concern is Tyron Jones and the health of Tyron Jones, because the play before in that same sequence, he did a great job switching out to take away the first three in front of UNLV's bench, and then was able to recover out there. But when you're contesting threes, you either got to contest with flybys, where you're running past the shooter, or you've got a high jump.
Get up, Tyron!
We'll step aside and come back in just a moment here from Logan. 1-point lead for Utah State. We're back at the Spectrum. 1 of 3 free throws already knocked down by Mason Falslev. 2 more coming. Tyron Jones, an apparent right leg injury. He was just escorted back to the locker room. Really tough to see.
Terrible news for UNLV. You know, we all hope and pray that nothing serious, because that young freshman is a tremendous talent. He's a tremendous talent and was already off to a terrific start tonight.
You could see everything that he offered in the first 8 minutes of this game.
But the other thing we talked about this morning at shoot-around was UNLV. They only have about 8 guys with the early season injuries that they've already suffered.
Corner 3 from Al Green off the heel. That's tapped back out. Great effort by Fleming to keep it alive. Fresh 20 for UNLV. And because of that bench getting shorter, Fleming has to come back in and play with 2 fouls. Swings it to the corner. Green towing the sideline. 5 on the timer. Green attacks against Allen. Leans in. And the putback slam for Emmanuel Steffen. UNLV right with the timer winding down, able to cash in.
If you're UNLV, you couldn't ask for anything better. You take 29 seconds off the shot clock and get a putback right there, and you're down 1.
UNLV is the second best offensive rebounding team in the conference. Allen too strong, trying to answer, and now UNLV has a chance for their first lead tonight. Williamson catching in stride, out of control, left it short. Long rebound to Falslev. Here they come. Dumps it off. Collins got hit up high and will head to the free throw line.
It's kind of an unwritten rule in college basketball, and you can see Collins is down right here. Falslev on the break, off the missed layup. Collins to the glass, slapped right across the head. In that situation, Gibbs Longhorn, you really want to try to go for the ball so you have no chance of going to replay for a flagrant foul right there. Nothing vicious, nothing intentional, but you really want to go for the ball right there. And you can see Collins saying, hey, I got hit, but good job by those 2 guys. Two of the top 3 scorers in this league doing a good job dapping each other up, and understand that's just part of the game. But I asked Josh Passon, you can see right here, it's a 1-point game, 10 minutes in. They got down 9-0 to start. So what's the best thing you like about this basketball team? He said, we are getting better. We are improving. And you can see it. You can see this team. They've won their last two games in conference play.
5 out of their last 7 overall. 1 more coming for Collins. He's got 2 points so far.
And this is their 4th road game out of their last 5 games, and they're sitting at 4-2 in conference. If you come out of Utah State tonight with a win and you're 5-2, you're sitting in 2nd place.
It's going to be difficult the rest of the way, though. These fouls are starting to pile up. Gibbs, Lawhorn, Hamilton, and Fleming, 3 of their starters, each with 2 fouls. And now that full court pressure from Utah State. Dangerous pass, but Green is there. Fleming, tough spot, just has to try and find an avenue. Williamson can't get there, and it's turned over by UNLV for the 3rd time.
But in this type of environment, we talked about one of the keys, live ball turnovers. That's a dead ball turnover, so UNLV can set their defense. Be ready. Josh Pastner, he likes this 1-3-1 zone that he started when he was at Georgia Tech, that he's implemented now at UNLV. Be ready them to show some zone with some of the foul trouble.
Keeping Gibbs, Lawhorn in the game for the time being with those 2 fouls. But Fleming out. Walter Brown will check in here for UNLV. Collins off the cut. Down the left side, Gibbs Lawhorn stays with him. Utah State doesn't have a bucket from the floor in nearly 5 minutes, and that one a little bit short from Elamine. Solid defense from Brown. He leads them 4. Green spins back against the taller Elamine, draws the foul.
Really good job by Green right there, getting Elamine up in the air, off his feet, and then drawing the foul. And you can see right here, a little Barkley back stops, a little shot fake, gets Elamine up in the air, and then is able to draw the foul and get to the free throw line. Really good job right there by Al Green.
And he does it while giving up half a foot of height. Gets himself to the free throw line. First trip to the charity stripe for UNLV.
It's wearing the mask. He broke a bone in his nose a couple weeks ago.
A senior from Sacramento, went the JUCO route at San Diego City College, then to Louisiana Tech, and now with UNLV. And he goes 2 for 2. 1-point game once more, past the midpoint of this first half.
You're Josh Passer. You're ecstatic about where you're at in this basketball game right now, outside of Tyron Jones' injury.
The 2 words you will hear out of his mouth the most, grit and toughness, and UNLV has shown that so far, weathering the early storm.
Well, that's what he talked about. What do you want to do in year 1? Build the culture of grit and toughness. Really good take right there. Elamine, his ability with his size and skill level at his size, he's a tough cover from that elbow rip and drive right there. Great finish by Elamine.
First made field goal for Utah State in about 5.5 minutes. They have been getting to the free throw line, though, where they are 7 of 10. Gibbs Lawhorn hounded. Now it's Green. All the way down to 6 on the shot clock. Gibbs Lawhorn sees it. Pulls up for the deep 3 and drills it. Hand in his face. Gibbs Lawhorn ties the game.
And he tells the herd, the student section, one of the best student sections in the country, sit down.
And his coach says he's playing the best ball of his career right now. Collins answers at the other end. He's the best three-point shooter in the Mountain West, 15th in the nation. Allen generating a steal. Last touch by Gibbs Lawhorn into the scorer's table.
Nick, the one thing you can't do, especially against pressure defenses, you can't throw bounce passes uphill. Bounce passes uphill, they're too slow. And you can see Gibbs Lawhorn falls down, and the #1 shooter in the Mountain West Conference, you can't give him any kind of look like that. And he's calling home right there, telling Mama, I just made another 3.
First three-pointer of the game for Utah State on their first attempt. And Collins, for the terrific season he's having, a slow last couple of games, just 30%, 36% from the floor in last week's games. Good start for him here so far. Falslev through contact for 2 more, and Utah State expands the lead up to 5. Nine points already for Mason Falslev, guy who's an early candidate for Mountain West Player of the Year. Inside 8 to go in this first half. Gibbs Lawhorn, jump stop. Lost the handle, looking for some help. Brown battling, jars free to Steffen, 4 to shoot. Along the baseline, Hamilton missed it. Brown's putback jam does not go, and now Allen leads the break. Contact and a blocking foul. Free throws upcoming for Utah State when we return. Aggies by 5 on their home court. Back in Logan at the Spectrum, one of the best home courts in all of college basketball. In their 56 years playing in this building, they have won 80% of their games, 50-5 over the last 4 seasons.
I haven't played here or coached here, and this is my first time here. It has lived up to everything that everyone has talked about. The herd, the student section, the other fan bases. A third of the section in this arena is filled with students. Almost 4,000 students are here.
And with the 9:15 local tip on a school night, they were passing out Red Bull and Monsters to keep the students caffeinated. 10,270 on hand here tonight as Utah State leads by 5. A 1-1 here out of the timeout for Drake Allen.
You can see this program's only had one losing season in the last 32 years. And when you win your home games, which they've done at a high level, you are going to have a winning record as consistently as this Utah State program has.
7-0 on this court this season. As Allen goes 1 of 2, but an offensive rebound for Zach Keller, but threw it away, and Gibbs Lawhorn with the one-hand flush.
But again, you saw right there, Nick, another bounce pass uphill. You can't bounce past the ball uphill, not against teams that are defensive-minded to steal and run through passes.
But bad news for UNLV on the other end. Hamilton just picked up his third.
Great job by Gibbs Longhorn, anticipating that pass and then flushing it down, saying, Collins, I can throw it down too. This 9 o'clock tip, we should have told them to bring the Monsters and the Red Bulls down here for press row.
That sounds like you're ready to go, Coach.
I am. This atmosphere, this is fun. I've played in Allen Fieldhouse. I coached at Iowa State, which has one of probably the most elite top 5 fan base in the country. This meets everything I thought it would be.
We've got Hamilton heading to the bench. And by the way, also returning to the bench, Tyron Jones out of the locker room. Has that right leg wrapped, heading to the end of the bench. And based on what we're seeing right now, I don't expect to see him at all in this game. But who knows? 7:11 to go. Drake Allen picks up the foul here. Utah State picking up full again.
UNLV spotted right here, but they have to do a better job of getting open in an area where the trap is not going to be so deep. They don't want to catch the ball in those deep. Coaches call it the coffin corner. Gibbs Longhorn is too deep right now. Good job over the top right there to Brown.
Brown fakes the pass, scores it, plus the foul.
And that's the one thing, Nick, if you are going to press, if you don't turn it over, offensive team can have advantage. You can see right there, great job and finish by Brown. They go over the top right here, and Brown attacks their 2-on-1. Really good pass fake, and then great finish, and he beats Keller to the basket. And again, UNLV, they got down 5. They come right back.
Brown short, and the rebound collected by Keller. Brown, by the way, coming over from New Zealand, where he was playing in the NBL.
He played on the New Zealand national team.
3-point game once more. And Jones for UNLV on the exercise bike behind the bench. Meanwhile, Templin splash from the outside. Second 3 for Utah State. Williamson, deep step, outside Brown. He responds. Walter Brown, only his second 3-pointer of the season. And we're trading blows here in Logan.
Isaac Williamson couldn't be more impressed. Great footwork in the paint right there. Stride step, 1-2, reverse, front pivots, and finds Brown for 3. And that looked right there. That looked like it may. Yeah, we talked about the other night, the iPad coach. You can see right there, really good job. UNLV, they tag off the shooter right there for 3, Templin, and then Williamson right there in the paint. Great kick out right there to Brown. A big 3 in the corner. But Williamson did a great job drawing the defense down.
UNLV, not a great 3-point shooting team, but just made a season-high 11 triples in their last game against San Jose State. They've started 4 of 6 tonight. Collins leaning in, too strong off the window. Rebound for Brown.
Smart play right there by Brown. Get it to your point guard. Run good offense right here.
6 minutes to play in the first half. Jacob Benarbi, the only returning player from last year. Lobs it inside to nobody. And which way is this going? It's going to be a foul against Brown, and it will be Utah State basketball.
Again, we talked about dead ball turnovers, live ball turnovers. Thankfully for UNLV, that's a dead ball turnover. But UNLV's got to be smart in the half court right there. Bunnerby, he's not open. There's two guys right there in the middle of the paint. Brown's cutting through two guys. Kick it back out. You've got time on the shot clock. Run offense. And we've seen UNLV miss some free throws. They are elite at getting to the free throw line, but their percentages aren't great.
2 free throws for Carson Templin with Utah State in the double bonus. Utah State, they're right around 60% in this game. They've been getting to the free throw line, and that's an area that they have not excelled this year. 10th in the conference at 72%. And look who's back in the ballgame, Tyron Jones.
The Energizer Bunny back in. That's a huge, huge lift right there for the UNLV.
Templin 0 for 2, but it'll stay at this end.
That's terrific news. Tyron Jones is back. But we talked about it in the early parts of the game. The glass is going to be very, very important tonight. Both teams, they got to keep people off the glass. You can't give up a free throw box out rebound if you're going to win on the road here.
And Jones's return especially helpful, given Fleming and Hamilton each with 3 fouls, and an air ball 3 for Templin. So free throw attempts, a 3-point attempt, an empty trip gives Lawhorn high-arcing shot, and a putback slam. Steffen again with a second chance points.
Emmanuel Steffen, the first recruit Josh Pastner signed when he got the job at UNLV. He had the connection to the University of Arizona program. One of his good friends, Jack Murphy's over there. And obviously, Josh Pastner won a national championship in 1997.
And gives Lawhorn with his 3rd foul at the other end.
Nice floater. You put it up sometimes, and because everybody runs to the shooter, what opens up is that backside rebound for Emmanuel Steffen to go stuff it down.
The fouls just piling up for UNLV. MJ Collins to shoot 2, but 3 starters with 3 fouls for the Runnin' Rebels, and there's still 5 minutes to play in the first half.
I asked Josh Pastner about what does Stacey Augmon mean, having him in the program back in the fold. He said it's the biggest recruit to get him back in the program. He may need him tonight if he continues to be in foul trouble. But he said Stacey Augmon has been so important to the program in his first year here because of the icon, how many people think and adore him there in Las Vegas, and he brings a connection to so many important people to that UNLV program. But he said that was his #1 recruit.
MJ Collins goes 1 for 2. He's got 7 points to lead Utah State. On the floor right now, Mason Falslev has 9 to lead all scorers. Steffen lost the handle. Gives it up for Williamson. 5 to shoot. Williamson navigating. Step back 3. And the rebound tracked down by Colby King. 2-point lead for Utah State, but they give it away. Williamson attacks. And that looks like an offensive goaltend to wipe it away. That had a chance to go in.
Nick, Walter Brown's got to be smarter right there. A great take right there by Isaac Williamson off the turnover. Walter Brown's got to let the play finish out, let the shot, especially after he heard the whistle blow. You can see Williamson goes in there, throws it up off the glass, gets the foul. Walter Brown, let it go. Give it a chance to go in and get the 3-point play.
It'll still be 2 shots for Williamson, a chance to tie the game.
But I tell you what, for Walter Brown, in defense of Walter Brown, he probably didn't think he was going to get this type of minutes this early. Credit him. He made the big 3 early, and his effort and energy has been really good for this UNLV basketball team, who is now down 1 as we close in on the last media of the first half.
Brown averages just 2 points per game. Meanwhile, Williamson, a freshman from Southern California, goes 2 for 2, and we are tied at 30.
How about this, Nick? Terrific first half.
It was Utah State that started the game on a 9-0 blitz, but UNLV settled down. And Utah State has struggled from the foul line. They have lived there so far, and there's a block from Green on King.
Kobe King made that little mid-range earlier, but we said we would live with that. We'll live with that.
Williamson, 3 more, and UNLV has its first lead.
I am really, really impressed with the character of this UNLV basketball team. They fought through injuries, foul troubles, and they're up 3 in this environment.
Improbable to think, given all they've weathered so far, as Elamine has it go off the heel. Brown in rhythm, brings it forward. Into the lane, reverse layup short, tipped out of bounds, last touch by Jones. It'll be Utah State basketball when we come back. UNLV once down 9. They've got the lead for the first time tonight in Logan. Coming up at the half, Steve and I will have your first half highlights and stats. Then Rob Stone and Donnie Marshall have highlights from around the nation. Did you ever make a half-court shot?
Every time when I would run camp, we had this thing called the ice cream shot. 3/4 court. You make a 3/4 court shot, the whole camp gets ice cream. So I've made that a couple times over the years running camp, but it's great to see the little fella out there, little half-court shot. Hopefully that got this whole arena free ice cream or something.
Well, the crowd a little quiet here at the moment because UNLV has grabbed the lead for the first time, a 3 from the true freshman Isaac Williamson moments ago. And after everything looked so disjointed for UNLV at the start of this game, they have found their footing despite all kinds of foul trouble. Here's Perriman dumping it off for Templin. Physical, short, gets his own miss, and puts it up and in.
Templin doing a great job right there, staying with the ball. Sometimes when you're underneath that basket, that defender can't get that rebound. Templin does a really good job of staying with it and getting the basket.
Had a near double-double last time out against Grand Canyon, 10 points, 8 rebounds. UNLV, all their starters with 3 fouls on the bench right now, trying to get to the halftime locker room as Steffen had his baby hook short and deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with UNLV. Well, Jared Calhoun's got to be a little bit frustrated that Utah State is 10 for 18 at the free throw line in the first half.
10 for 18 from the free throw line, and then giving up UNLV 5 for 8 from the three-point line, continuing their hot streak from the other day at San Jose State.
Steffen has a size advantage here, but out beyond the arc. 5 on the timer. Williamson, step back 3, a prayer is not answered. Jones throws it up, and he got pushed. It's a foul, and 2 shots coming up for Tyron Jones.
Great example right there, why you never give up on a play and you stay aggressive right there. Tyron Jones, a tough shot right here by Williamson, late shot clock. You got to get something up on the rim. Tyron Jones doesn't give up on the play, and then a poor foul right there by Mason Falslev, an upperclassman, the heart and soul of this program. He knows better than that. He'll be better from that.
Second foul against Falslev. You talk about Jones not giving up on a play. How about not giving up on this game after his knee buckled and he was down on the court for a while?
Well, if I'm a scout right here and I'm watching Tyron Jones and I'm here and we saw some NBA scouts that are in the building tonight, and you see that and you say, hey, freshman hurts his knee, comes back out and plays, you're going to write toughness down and circle it and write in capital letters. Tyron Jones only 49% from the free throw line. That's gravy getting that first one.
And now seemingly multiple lane violations before he shot that second one.
Yeah, Tyron Jones didn't even shoot the ball. He didn't attempt the ball. Whoa.
And I think they're going to count it. He did end up shooting it and made it when everyone came falling in to the lane.
Well, if you're UNLV, you'll take that.
So it's 35-32. False left, bumping into Brown. Templin hands off for Allen. The floater off the front of the rim. Templin, Steffen tied up as they go crashing in. And a jump ball will keep it with the Aggies.
Nick, we saw Boise State and Colorado State the other night, and we commented on it. And then tonight, the physicality in the Mountain West is extremely at a high level. You see Drake Allen right there. They have missed, Utah State has missed a lot of shots at the rim, some floaters, but you see Steffen and Templin getting tied up. Both guys just going really, really hard. Both big physical post players. Good effort. Let's play on.
Little more than 2 minutes before halftime. Elamine rolls in the triple. We are tied up once again. His first three of the night. Williamson looking for relief. Finds it in Brown. Williamson wandering along the baseline, and he stepped out of bounds. Utah State basketball.
It's a big three. UNLV lost track of Elamine right there. You can see Williamson, he's pivoting. Steps out of bounds right there. UNLV, they have their timeout. They got to be smarter right there if you need to take one, especially this late in the half.
Sixth turnover against UNLV. Elamine lost his footing and the ball. Here comes Jones. Steffen with them, but Jones all the way, and he's fouled by Templin.
You know, the first thing when you see a guy get back from injury, come back on the floor, you see when he runs, is he healthy, is he 100%? And you can see Tyron Jones right there, a great steal, gets out in the open floor, and you can see the way he attacks the basket. He feels good. And right there, by the way he attacked the basket, you can see he's confident playing through this injury, which is a really good sign. 49% from the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
6 points all told. He's upped his scoring in conference play. And he's also the conference's leading shot blocker.
Nick, we saw Elamine make the three down there. We got 4 really good freshmen that are going to have really good careers here. Jones and Williamson for UNLV, and then Perryman and Elamine for Utah State.
And the friendly bounce for Tyron Jones. UNLV toggles back in front. A little more than a minute to go in this first half. Templin fouled from behind. Green leaning in there. Templin went down, nearly had the steal on a dangerous bounce pass.
Really good job right there. Utah State attacking and ball screen and pick and roll coverage right there. Steffen gets dragged out. It allows Templin to get behind the defense, and all UNLV can come behind and reach right there. But again, we talked about it, 10 for 18 from the free throw line, Utah State, and Templin's one of them. They've got to make free throws.
Templin himself 0 for 2. Sophomore out of Fairview, Texas. He's been a regular in the rotation for the Aggies over the last 2 seasons. And he's taken a pretty sizable leap here into his sophomore year.
Minute 10 to go, minute 07 to go right here. Excuse me, minute 7 to go in the first half. UNLV, score, stop, score to finish the half. They should have 2 offensive possessions, 1 defensive possession to end the half.
Templin returns the lead to Utah State. At any rate, for UNLV to have the scare for Jones and have 3 starters with 3 fouls, have a 1-possession game right now is remarkable. Brown weaving into the lane, hesitates and finishes. The first half for Walter Brown, 7 points off the bench for a guy who only plays 10 minutes per game.
The Canterbury Rams are in New Zealand cheering right now for Walter Brown. He's played terrific this first half.
He didn't even play in the last game against San Jose State. He gives UNLV the lead back in the final minute of the first half. Allen pulls up. And a foul underneath. Stephen crashing into Templin, battling for the rebound. Just his first, but more free throws for Utah State.
I thought Utah State may have gotten away with an illegal screen when Drake Allen came off to shoot that right there. But you can see right there, that's an easy call for the refs. Stephen can't go right there. He leads with his elbow right there, knocks Templin over. That's an easy call. 2 big free throws right here for Templin, and then UNLV, they've got a hole for the last shot and an opportunity to lead going into the half.
So Templin 2 for 4 from the foul line. He's a 60% shooter on the season.
You can see Tyron Jones saying box out, box out. They've had a couple situations tonight where they've gotten beat on free throw box out. Finish this possession. You've got one good opportunity on the other end to go into halftime with the lead.
All tied up once more. 6 ties, 3 lead changes in this opening half. Both teams have a timeout.
UNLV needs to get another guard up in that top spot against the zone. Good job by Al Green getting in the middle.
Back up top, Brown, hand in his face, off the front of the rim. Stephen trying to get after that loose ball, but that'll do it for the first half here in Logan. Fitting that we are tied at 38 apiece after 20 minutes.
UNLV, they've got to be really, really ecstatic going into halftime. Starting out at 9-0, they go into half. We're tied at half here in Logan, Utah, 38-38.
Utah State led by as many as 9, but all square at the break here at the Spectrum. Halftime at the Spectrum in Logan. And Utah State had an early lead, but UNLV battled back. We're tied 38-38. As we welcome you back courtside, Nick Cope and Steve Promo on hand. Great to have you with us. Really interesting first half where it felt like Utah State controlled the game for the most part, but UNLV, despite injury concerns and foul trouble, they've got themselves tied on the road.
The one word Josh Pastner talked about, grit and toughness.
Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. 3-pointers for UNLV, 5 for 10 from the outside. Really helped them get back into the game.
Gibbs Longhorn right here with deep range, talking to the student section, telling the herd. And then Williamson, a terrific kick out to Walter Brown. 5 for 10 tonight. The last 2 games, they've shot it extremely well from 3. And then the mayor of Logan, Utah, getting downhill, driving through contact, and one against Gibbs Longhorn. And then Elamine, the talented freshman, he's going to have a terrific career here in Logan, Utah. Going a little Euro step, beautiful finish on the other side, and then give him an angle downhill. He's long, he's athletic, finishes with a good floater at the rim.
Take a look at the first half numbers and have to highlight the free throws there for Utah State. They have left a lot of points on the court.
A lot of points they've left on the court, and then UNLV, only 6 turnovers. That's a key stat, especially a couple of the turnovers have been dead ball turnovers and kept Utah State out of transition.
Coming up next, we'll get you back to the studio. Rob Stone and Donnie Marshall will get you caught up on all the action across the country. All tied up here in Logan, UNLV and Utah State. Ready for the start of the second half in the Cache Valley. 38-38 between UNLV and Utah State. As we welcome you back inside the Spectrum, a place where they are not accustomed to losing very many games. 50-5 over the last 4 seasons, and UNLV giving them a stiff test so far tonight.
And one of the biggest stats, talking to Jared Calhoun, they've only created 6 points for themselves offensively off turnovers. His goal and the team's goal every game, 20 to 25 points. They feel like they can get off turnovers. They're in really good shape to win the game. They're going to have to really turn UNLV over the second half.
Meanwhile, for UNLV, they have gotten some big wins on the road. Knocked off Stanford, which beat North Carolina recently. Also a win at Memphis, which could win the American, and has a win over Baylor. Kamani Hamilton with a missed jumper to start the second half. So Hamilton, Fleming, and Gibbs Lawhorn playing with 3 fouls, all back out there to start the second half. MJ Collins catch and shoot 3 off the heel, and flying in for the rebound is Fleming.
And one thing we talked about at halftime, UNLV needs a better start than they did to start the game. Second half, you don't have an opportunity to get down 9-0, 47-38, but really good job right there by Fleming, drawing a foul early already on Utah State. And they're going to call, and there's that new rule. There's a continuation foul right there. He draws the foul, he creates the contact, and then you get one more step to get that shot off. That's the new rule that just got implemented this year.
Fleming eager to get back out there, only able to play 10 minutes of the first half because of foul trouble. And he's a guy who's been playing very well. 38 points over the last 2 games coming in, including 21 last time out against San Jose State.
UNLV back at the free throw line. They're 15th in the country. They get to the line almost 27 times. Problem is 67% from the free throw line. But he answers on that one.
A 1-for-2 trip, and those were free throw attempts 10 and 11. To give you a sense of where UNLV is at in this one in terms of earning those free throws. They toggle back in front here in the early going of the second half. Falslev, 9 points to lead Utah State, and a chance to get into double figures drawing the foul.
There's been a couple chippy moments at the rim with some physicality both ways, but both teams have done a good job after the first initial shock of handling it the right way. Thought Falslev may have got away with a hook right there on that drive. You can see right here, really good drive right there, good spin. Gets right to the front of the rim, causing a foul right there, Kamani Hamilton, and that should be 4 on Kamani Hamilton.
He has not been able to stay in the game. He has only played 7 minutes. And he's getting ready to check out. Meanwhile, Falslev to the line where he is 3 of 4, make it 4 of 5 with 1 more coming. Now in double figures with 10. He's a much improved free throw shooter from a year ago, about 21% better.
In comes the game, Isaac Williamson's had a really good first half for UNLV.
Falslev on any given night, he can lead Utah State in scoring, rebounding, assists, blocks, and steals.
One of 6 players in the country with 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. That's high-level basketball.
Has to settle for a 1-for-2 trip to the foul line, 39-39. Gibbs Lawhorn, 8 points in the first half, also 3 rebounds. Quick crossover and knocks down the jumper. That was silky smooth from Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, now in double figures.
He provides this UNLV basketball team with so much energy. He's talking to the student section, the herd, but he's playing with tremendous confidence.
Former 4-star recruit, couple of years at Illinois, first year with UNLV. Keller, the baseline feed, and a one-hand hammer from Adlon Elamine.
Elamine, great job on the back cut. He sees Tyron Jones back. He knows he's got a back cut. Really good job finishing that.
Out of control play there, but it will stay with UNLV. Elamine now into double figures with 10.
And you can see right there when you're in the corner, once you see your defender's back, it's an automatic back cut, and Elamine, the freshman, the young fella, flushes it down.
Coming all the way over from Arlington, Virginia to play here in Logan, Utah. Williamson with the spin, lowers the shoulder, but lost the handle right into the midst of Allen. 3-on-1, Elamine the lob, Collins the finish. Utah State back in front.
Again, the live ball turnovers, we talked about it. UNLV, you've got to limit your live ball turnovers and not give up those easy baskets in transition. The fast break points for the Aggies. Good unselfish play right there by Elamine to give it up to Collins.
They make a game chaotic so fast. Into the corner, the 3-ball. Off the heel for Fleming. Tapped out, right back to Fleming. Steps inside, and a foul.
And again, Elamine, nice pass to Collins. Give it up to your senior from freshman, from the young fella to the senior. Really good unselfish play by Elamine.
Fleming looking for somewhere to go, and it's a 5-second violation.
UNLV just had no sense of urgency right there and underneath out of bounds. Their action, too slow in their movement, and then you've got to be aware of the time.
Utah State in the entire first half had just 2 assists. They have 2 assists on their first 2 buckets here to start the second half.
A team that prides itself on trying to get 19 assists a night. They average 18.
Wide open lane, 2-hand jam. Drake Allen. There's nobody in the zip code, and Utah State leads by 4. Fleming stumbling, offensive foul. That's his 4th.
I think Josh Pasta just called timeout. I think this is a good timeout right here. Drake Allen, he comes off the ball screen, and they call that Spain action where you go ball screen, and then you screen the defender's help. Drake Allen, flow it down. Aggies by 4.
A blitzing 6-0 run from Utah State in the span of 90 seconds has the Aggies back in front on visiting UNLV. And the foul trouble starting to pile up for the running Rebels. Kamani Hamilton, Howie Fleming Jr. each picking up their 4th foul here in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
We talked earlier in the game. I said, Coach Paston, what do you like best about this team? He said, we are improving. He said, what do you, I asked, the next question was, what does this team need to improve on? He said, defend without fouling. And you can see it's caused them some problems tonight.
You mentioned earlier how well UNLV gets to the free throw line on offense, but with how much they foul, they give that advantage away a lot over the course of 40 minutes as Allen skies in again, this time laying it off the window, plus the foul.
Drake Allen off the ball screen. Really good finish going right through Stephen for the and 1. You can see again, another look at that Spain action where you set the 1 ball screen and then the second guy's coming to screen that man's defender. Allen able to get downhill. They asked Allen yesterday in the media, in the press conference, you know, how will you guys respond from your first loss since the South Florida game? He said, we bounced back well from the last loss. They had won 8 in a row from there. The expectations are high here, but they like that.
And hounding defensively now against Gibbs Lawhorn, who has it stripped out of bounds off his leg, and it'll go to Utah State. Gibbs Lawhorn telling Josh Pastner to challenge. Pastner looking to his coaching staff, and they say don't do it.
That's the iPad coach. We talked about it the other night. The iPad coach, your responsibility has totally changed this year, and the importance of using that because of the new challenge rule that's been in play. But we'll take a good look at it right here. Drake Allen, I think that's a good call by the refs off Gibbs Longhorn. But Drake Allen, Mason Falslev, one of the best things they do, create steals for the Aggies.
4 turnovers this half, all coming in the last 2 minutes. Allen attacking. This one rolls off the front of the rim. He's been able to get inside with ease here to start the second half. Jones flashing to the middle of that zone look. He's stripped. Keller got his hand in there. Utah State on the break again. Elamine.
Just nowhere to go right there with Tyron Jones. That ball's got to go inside and then back out. And again, the Aggies, they pride themselves on their defense. That's what they want their identity to be known, and playing off steals and live ball turnovers.
10-0 run for Utah State, and they lead by 8. Inside Gibbs Lawhorn. He couldn't handle it. Towing the baseline, keeps it in. Outside for Green, spins. Wild shot. Follow-up won't go. Third try from Jones, no. Then Army has it taken off the rim. That's going to be a goal 10. Count the bucket for UNLV. their first points in 3.5 minutes.
Easy call right there by the referee for the goaltend. The Aggies up 6, 49-43 as we go to break.
We've already seen a half-court shot from a youngster tonight. How about a putt? 94 feet of glory and yogurt for a year.
How about that? Bring your friends. The Monsters and the Red Bulls have paid off tonight.
Utah State grabbing a bit of control of this game thanks to getting out in transition, turning over UNLV, and getting out and running.
And that's what Jared Calhoun, can we get 20-25 points off fast break points and turnovers? Elamine to the freshman Collins, and then another steal, and then Drake Allen, who's really come out in the second half ready to play, to his freshman Elamine for the flush down. And Utah State's defense, only 6 points off turnovers the first half. They've already gotten 8 in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half.
And UNLV just cannot take care of the basketball. 5 turnovers since halftime. He's got that goaltending bucket a moment ago to stop a 10-0 run.
You can see with all the foul trouble, now they've gone zone. Josh Pastors 1-1-3. Good job getting it right there in the high post. A little buddy pass, just a tough one for him to handle right there. Elamine on the baseline. Collins got to wait another second.
Just the 5th turnover tonight against Utah State.
Nick, you talked about those turnovers. UNLV only turned over 6 times in the first half. They've already turned it over 5 times. Difference in this half.
A similar start to the first half when Utah State jumped out 9-0. And then UNLV settled in. Hoping they can do the same right here. Williamson kicks to the corner. Jones with those long strides, acrobatic, but a tough take. And Elamine the rebound. Here's Allen, the point guard. Flips it to Foslev, rising up. Now here's Brown. Brown gets it away. Jones jarred free, but a foul. It's Collins, who says he did get him across the arm.
Really good pass down here by Drake Allen. Foslev misses a really good look from 3. UNLV gets away with an open 3 right there by Utah State. But then down in transition, Tyron Jones, you can see he's healthy. Collins slaps down. Jones, only 49% from the free throw line, but back on the line. And UNLV, just like in the first half, slowly weathering another storm. Opportunity to cut it to 4. Nick, how impressed have you been by this freshman Tyron Jones?
The athleticism is really something to behold. The long strides, the mobility he has to go along with his 6'9" frame has really stood out to me. This is a guy who signed to UNLV when Kevin Kruger was still the coach, and he stayed on with the hiring of Josh Pastner.
From Las Vegas. Las Vegas has very good high school basketball. Really strong recruiting area at UNLV needs to do a good job at their hometown.
And then he came here to the Beehive State to play at Layton Christian Academy. Collins short on the 3, but we got a foul underneath against UNLV. It'll be the second against Brown. That's already 5 team fouls against UNLV. And remember, Utah State lived at the free throw line in the first half.
See Collins right here. Missed jump shot, but you can see Walter Brown. That's just an easy call. You just can't shove a guy over, a 2-hand shove. They're going to call that every time. No way you're going to get away with that.
Baseline cut for Foslev. Around and in.
Great pass, great read by Foslev. You're being denied. Lift him up higher up on the floor, and then on the open side of the floor, great back cut and finish.
Benarbi dumps it off. Brown in a tough spot. And Elamine with the weak side rebound. Up ahead, it's Collins. This time, he throws it down. And Utah State matches their largest lead of the night.
Fast break points. You got to get back in transition. Williamson didn't get back. An easy layup right there for Collins.
Williamson into traffic. Collins the loose ball. Allen Fires Elamine's three. You bet. Largest lead tonight for Utah State. And a timeout, UNLV.
This is who Utah State is. Playing off turnovers, playing off steals, playing in transition.
Elamine matching a career high with 15 points.
Really good job. Elamine gets it out to Allen. Look how the ball moves. Doesn't touch the floor. Collins throws it down. And then here he goes again one more time. We thought he was only a three-point shooter, averaging 19 points a game. And then Allen, a great look to the young freshman, another rising star in this league. Elamine from Chantilly, Virginia. Give me another three ball, 35.
Utah State leads by a dozen. This has been Utah State basketball since halftime.
They said they call it a fist. 5 guys guarding the basketball, and you can see when they drive the ball downhill, when that head turns, Utah State is trained to swarm the basketball. And you look at these freshmen's numbers. Adlon Elamine, 15.6 for 9 from the field, making threes, active in transition, rebounding the basketball. Really impressed with all these freshmen out here on the floor tonight.
And desperation now for UNLV. They re-enter Kamani Hamilton, Howie Fleming, each playing with 4 fouls and 13 minutes and change to go.
Right now, Josh Pastner wishing we were playing with NBA rules where you go 6 fouls so he could keep those guys out here a little bit longer.
Jones lost his footing to the ground. Still in play for Fleming. Back out, Hamilton. Now gives Longhorn, spots the three. Out it comes for Allen. Chance to push once more. Flips to Templin. One dribble through contact. It rattles in. It is an avalanche here from the Aggies.
The surge off misses is really impressive by Utah State.
It's a 19-3 run. The lead is 14. Hamilton off the window. Just 4 points tonight for Hamilton. He's barely been able to play because of foul trouble, and that stops the bleeding momentarily. Tucker Anderson just checking in for the first time, but glancing off the front of the rim, the rebound to Fleming. Kicks it inside, wide open. Hamilton, back-to-back buckets.
Now UNLV, they've got it back down to 10. They've got the fans out of it a little bit, and now can they put together another stop?
Falslev spots the three. Rims out. Rebound for Benarbi. Another stop for UNLV, and a lot of runway left in this one. Benarbi into the lane. Does not fall. It's out of bounds. Going to Utah State. 11-17 to play. The Aggies up 10.
Drake Allen send it down, and the Aggies off their defense. Elamine one more time, and you can finally Collins one more time. The Aggies up 10.
Fox College Hoops Friday has a Big Ten rivalry tipping off in prime time as Ohio State battles Yaxel-Lendeborg and third-ranked Michigan. Friday night, 8 Eastern on Fox. Here at the Spectrum in Logan, Utah. Utah State doubling up UNLV so far in the second half, 20-10. And the Aggies playing their kind of game, forcing turnovers, running in transition. Led by as many as 14, the lead has settled for the moment at 10.
You can see UNLV again with all the foul trouble going zone.
Three short from King.
Great contest right there by Tyron Jones to get that contest on Kobe King's three in the corner. That's where that length and size really pays off.
Went into the cheerleaders, now back in the front court, has it here in the corner. Tweaking that knee in the first half. Count it, plus the foul here. A circus shot goes for Tyron Jones.
And again, UNLV slowly chipping away. Really good job. A little in and out, steps through, and is able to take the contact and make a little floater, and then talks a little bit to the herd.
Imagine if you're a visiting player, it's hard not to engage the student section here. They are right on top of the action.
Any player's going to. This environment is really good. And you don't get an opportunity every night to play in the student section like we're seeing here tonight. So they're making the most of it.
Jones with a three-point play, a 7-0 run for UNLV. And it's a foul against Gibbs Lawhorn, who can't believe it, his fourth.
Let's look at it right here. Gibbs Lawhorn really extended out right there. And they're going to get him for the hook. He's got to be a little bit smart as he gets through. He just can't get false led around the head right there.
He stays on the court, and now a closeout foul on the three by Emmanuel Steffen. Colby King will shoot 3 free throws.
Nick, this is the point of the game right here. UNLV is down 14, and you can see Steffen right there. We talked about it earlier in the game when Tyron Jones fouled the three-point shooter. You can't long jump. You got a high jump and contest. You long jump, you're going right into the shooter, and one of the cardinal sins of defense is fouling three-point shooters.
And that's the second time UNLV has done it tonight.
And this is a big key, big time in the game right here for UNLV. They were down 14. They've cut it in half. But now you can see a couple questionable fouls, a couple tough fouls. Gibbs Lawhorn and Steffen, they've got to slow down and be a little bit more disciplined on the defensive end.
One more coming for Colby King, who's on his 4th school in 4 years. From St. John's to Tulane to Butler. And now Utah State. He's touched just about every part of the country. As you see, the foul trouble there for UNLV. 3 starters with 4 fouls and a 4th starter with 3. And we're not even at the midpoint of the second half. Hamilton had those 4 quick points. And he scores there. Looked like he wanted to pass it down low, realized it was not there, and threw it up and in.
Really good body control right there. Getting up in the air. Great body control and awareness to finish that play. Gibbs Lawhorn not wanting to foul. He's got his hands behind his back like this is preseason practice.
Falslev into the zone. Stripped. Steffen tracks it down. Only the 6th turnover against Utah State. UNLV slows the pace. Hamilton, patient, rises, fires, and hits. How about an 8-point second half for Kamani Hamilton? He's got 10.
1,000-point score. Transfer from High Point. Having a really good second half. And we touched on it. Gibbs Lawhorn back in preseason practice to get in a better stance. You put your hands behind your back and work on getting in a stance. Gibbs Lawhorn doesn't want to foul. It's like back in the preseason days, like this is September. In individual workouts, doing the defensive slide drills.
Meanwhile, as Utah State has gone 3.5 minutes without making a bucket from the floor, getting some of those starters back in there. El-Amin returns, so does Collins. Meanwhile, Josh Pastner frustrated, talking with Michael Irving.
Now, Josh Pastner, don't get it technical right now. Say your piece, but you've cut it to 5. Get the explanation. Your kids are playing really hard. You've done a great job weathering the storm.
A coaching box warning has been issued to Josh Pastner. Jay Collins, jump stop, lost his footing, but got the pass away for Elamine. 7 on the timer. Keller to Collins, has to hoist it up. And an offensive rebound for Allen. Flips to Falslev, leans in and knocks it down.
UNLV, they almost looked scared to box out at times because of the foul trouble.
Kind of a haphazard possession there, but it results in 2 points for Utah State. Hamilton with a size advantage here against Collins, using that off arm.
Don't get a cheap one offensively right there, Kamani.
Jones attacks, score it, plus the foul.
Remember the name Tyron Jones. Watching it on tape. Talked about his ability to block shots, and you can see right here, really handling the basketball well. A great finish, great body control, finger roll right here, takes the body contact, and again with the new rule change, it's an and one. The toughness and grit, Josh Pastor said, that's what he wanted to implement in year one, because he said the great UNLV teams in the past, that's what they had, grit and toughness. And when you suffer a knee injury in the first half and you come back the way Tyron Jones, you are helping build this culture at UNLV.
It's his second three-point play the old-fashioned way here in the second half, up to 14 points. UNLV has clawed to within 4. Elamine's corner pocket 3, no. Gibbs Lawhorn leads the break. And the point guard throws on the brakes, rises and delivers. It's a 2-point game.
Nick, great body control, great footwork. They call that rondo, a stride step. Really good body control, playing off 2 feet in the paint.
UNLV has made 5 shots in a row. Collins, the shot fake, got 2 men to miss, and then rejected by Stephan out of bounds. UNLV once down 14, back within 2.
And you can see Gibbs Longhorn off the bounce right here, cutting the lead to 2. With 7:35 to go.
UNLV has found its groove here in the second half. Down 14 moments ago, they put together a 16-4 run, and improbably within 2 points, dealing with foul trouble. As you take a look, this is the both teams' MO here, to have this kind of balanced scoring.
It has, and that's what makes both teams, very good. When you have multiple guys that can get 10, get 15, it makes it for a tougher scout. But I've been really impressed tonight. There's character, and then there's basketball character. And the basketball character that UNLV showed tonight through all the adversity, it's been really impressive.
They've made their last 5 shots from the floor. Meanwhile, Utah State 1 for their last 7. As Allen gets it into Keller. Falslev wanders in. Low pass there for Keller, who's bumped by Hamilton, and he's done. His 5th foul.
Kamani Hamilton's not happy with that call, but that's an easy call for that official on the baseline. He's got to go over there, slow down, and wall up. But once he extends and pushes him out of bounds, they have to call that. And you can see it right here. Falslev with a good look, just a tough pass. But once he goes into the body of Keller and trips him up, it's an automatic. Kamani Hamilton gave great production, for this UNLV basketball team. Him and his dad, his father is Tang Hamilton, played at Mississippi State, the only father-son duo to be Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Mississippi.
8 of his 10 points coming in the second half, and he played a long stretch here, 5-6 minutes with 4 fouls.
I thought offensively he gave them great minutes, and then he had a great block down here a couple possessions ago on MJ Collins when they ran him off the 3-point line in the zone.
A banked in front end of the 1-and-1 for Zach Keller. First point tonight for the senior.
Zion's bank is open here in Logan, Utah.
Former Utah Ute. Also played a year at Wake Forest. He goes 1 for 2, and a loose ball foul against Utah State. And that'll go against Allen, his third. He's the only player with 3 fouls for Utah State, so they are not in the kind of foul trouble that UNLV is. 7:28 to play.
UNLV, they're spotted right here. They've got to do a good job getting the ball inbounds. And now running good offense down here.
So Walter Brown is in for Hamilton. He had 7 points in the first half. Gibbs Lawhorn goes to work, falls away, drops it in. Another tough shot from Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. It's a 1-point affair.
The little floater by Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. Been really impressed with his play tonight. And UNLV back in the zone with all the foul trouble. Keep the ball out of the middle and make sure you know where the three-point shooters are at.
To the baseline, Foslev reverses. What a pass from Drake Allen.
Drake Allen's been terrific sharing the pill tonight in the second half, but that's the open slot area. You can't lose Foslev in the short corner.
8 assists for number 8. Jones isolating against Templin. Off the window, offensive rebound, Steffen, and a two-hand flush. That's the 3rd time tonight he's got a put-back jam.
Offensive glass, it's one of the keys tonight. It's one of the things UNLV does well.
Allen back to work, the point guard with 6 assists in the second half. And there's a rejection off the window. Tyron Jones. UNLV can toggle in front. Jones draws a foul, and he'll have to earn it at the free throw line. As he spun inside, it looks like Allen took some contact up high.
When you know you're competing at a high level, you defend the rim. Tyron Jones, get it out of there, big fella. And then on the other end, you come down, great spin move, and then you go right through the chest of Drake Allen, and you make the official call the foul. Tyron Jones on both ends of the floor has been fantastic, Nick.
4 fouls now on Utah State's point guard, Drake Allen.
You talked about Drake Allen, 8 assists tonight. I asked him yesterday at practice, you lead the conference in assists, you lead your team in assists. He just talked about just the personnel around him, how good his perimeter guys are, how good his bigs roll to the basket. Very complimentary of all of his teammates. And that's the job of a point guard.
And the bounce goes in for Jones. A 2-for-2 trip there. He's near perfect at the free throw line here in the second half. 5 of 6. UNLV back in front after being down by 14 points. Allen from the logo banks it home. Utah State retakes advantage.
Zion's bank. One more time for the Aggies.
Allen in double figures with 10. Walter Brown responds for UNLV.
When you win a big game on the road, the opportunity is when you have some guys step up, and a really good job on the backside right there. UNLV screening inside.
Trading blows once again here in Logan.
You can see 2 on the ball. You never want 2 on the ball. Drake Allen banks it in. Zion's bank. One more time, and then great screen right there by Steffen. Makes Allen take a bad angle. And then the New Zealand, Walter Brown, having a night. UNLV up by 1.
A timeout called by the Aggies. Utah State seemed like they had firm control of this game. They were playing their brand of basketball to start the second half. Turnovers, fast break points. You had UNLV's better players in foul trouble. And suddenly UNLV, despite all of that, able to fight back. Almost a similar script that we saw in the first half.
They changed their defense. They went zone, and then they've now, this last couple minutes, they've limited their turnovers. Because what was killing them in the first part of the second half, it was turnovers and fast break points for the Aggies. They've settled down, and now the last several minutes, they haven't turned the basketball over. They've gotten shots to the basket, and their best players, Gibbs Longhorn, Kamani Hamilton, Tyron Jones have really stepped up and played at a high level. And then the role players. You always, when you win a big game, there's always one role player step up. And tonight, Walter Brown from the Canterbury Rams from New Zealand having a night for the Running Rebels.
Brown hadn't scored any points in nearly 3 weeks, and he's got 10 points off the bench tonight. And UNLV has a 1-point lead with a little more than 5 minutes to play. And how about Jared Calhoun using his full timeout here rather than a 30-second to settle things down?
Number one, get his team rested, get his team refocused as they go into this last 5 minutes, and then talk about attacking the zone a little bit.
Allen with 4 fouls for Utah State. Falslev, the triple. Templin, the offensive board. And he's grabbed across the arm by Steffen.
And Steffen's frustrated with that call, but again, that's another good call. Steffen just needs to be big, as big and tall as Steffen is. You're talking about a 7-footer right there. Just get big, put your chest on him, wall up, and stay vertical. No reason to lean into Templin and cause a foul.
So he's got 4 fouls now. And Templin now to shoot the 1-and-1. He is 3 for 6 at the charity stripe tonight. And is short. Battle for the rebound. Brown into the bench. Officials conferring. It'll be Utah State basketball.
Free throw box out. Another thing, you've got to be better than that, UNLV, in that situation. Free throw box out, you've got to pinch. You've got to make sure you have the shooter, and you've got to corral the basketball right there. Nobody gets Falslev. He steps in, he's able to get a hand on the ball, and it's Aggies' possession. That's the second time tonight that they've got an offensive rebound off the free throw box out.
Falslev does so many things that stuff the stat sheet, and there's one right there to keep a play alive and help Utah State try to retake the lead, this time down the floor. Falslev inside. Allen shot fake and has it stripped. Fleming just ripped it away. Gibbs Lawhorn. It rolls in. 16 points now for Gibbs Lawhorn. UNLV by 3. That matches their largest lead tonight. Patient approach here from Utah State. Bounce pass. Collins, he's blocked. Guess who? The leading shot blocker in the conference, Tyron Jones.
And Tyron Jones does such a good job recovering to the corner. They've put Collins down in the corner, but you can see again, he's able to guard the dribble for a second, and because of his length and size, recover. That's the second time he's blocked that corner 3, and then the other time they ran Collins off the line and then blocked his shot at the rim.
Underneath, a great look for Falslev. He'll get another chance at it, and this time it finds the bottom of the cup.
Huge play right there by Falslev to stay with it. This is when guys like Falslev, MJ Collins, Drake Allen, your upperclassmen, got to step up to the plate.
18 for Falslev. That's what he's been averaging in conference play. Kicked over to Brown. Into the lane. Dumped it off for Steffen. And the jump hook goes. Boy, Brown was in a tough spot there, but Steffen bails him out.
Really good job by Steffen, being patient and getting to his nice jump hook right there.
Collins for 3. It rolls home. We are tied once again. Timeout, Utah State, as the Aggies have evened things up at 73.
And you can see Walter Brown's getting an earful from Josh Pastor, giving up that 3 in the corner, and we're tied at 73 as we go to break.
It's been a seesawing affair here at the Spectrum in Logan. 10 ties, 7 lead changes. Utah State has led by as many as 14 points. UNLV briefly took a lead moments ago. Now all tied up And the Rebels have been able to mount that comeback despite all kinds of foul trouble. Kamani Hamilton is done. 3 other starters playing with 4 fouls for the final 3:24 of regulation.
And if there's one guy UNLV does not want to lose, it's Dre Gibbs Longhorn. But the biggest key to UNLV for the last 10 minutes, they have not turned the basketball over again. They have not turned the basketball over since the 13-minute mark of this half, and that's been big in their comeback.
UNLV trying to get their first win in this building in 10 years. Utah State trying to avoid back-to-back losses and their first home loss of the season. Jones muscling inside. Gets his own miss off the tip. Jump stop inside. He will not be denied. Tyron Jones matching a season high with 18 points.
How about the young freshman?
Five players in double figures for Utah State. Elamine. Battle for the rebound. Brown saves it in. Elamine hit the deck. And now gets back on defense. And Utah State only 30% for the outside in this one. Approaching 2 minutes to go, and it's UNLV by 2. Dre Gibbs Longhorn steps into the 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 19 for Gibbs Longhorn. And it's a 5-point lead for the Runnin' Rebels. You want to talk about a confident shot.
He has played with great confidence the last couple weeks.
MJ Collins cannot answer. Another defensive rebound for Walter Brown.
And Utah State, they don't need to foul. Minute 30, 2-possession game, but you've got to come with a stop.
Gibbs Longhorn sees that double team, flips to Jones, jump stop, blocked by Templin. Falslev. And now Allen. Utah State settles into their offense. They've got one timeout to play with. Falslev flips it up. Can't get the bounce. Steffen with the rebound, and he's fouled. It's a 1-and-1 at the other end. UNLV leads by 5.
Gibbs Longhorn, he's playing with all kinds of confidence right here, and he sees it. They're late on the switch, right over top of Falslev to put the Runnin' Rebels up by 5. The zone of UNLV, the foul trouble forced Coach Pastner's hand to go to the zone, and it has really caused these Aggies a lot of trouble in the second half. But Emmanuel Steffen, a guy that's only 39% from the year from the free throw line, and it's a 1-and-1, so you've got to box out right here for Utah State.
He's got the opportunity to make it a 3-possession game.
Nick, what's been big tonight, Tyron Jones, 49% from the line, Emmanuel Steffen, 39%. They have stepped up to the line and made big free throws all night.
UNLV coming off arguably their best shooting performance of the season last time out against San Jose State. And this has been just as impressive, if not more impressive. 2 for 2 there for Emmanuel Steffen to make it a 7-point lead. Inside a minute to go. Falslev fires and hits. 4-point game, 51.5 to go. Brown finds an open Jones, 2-on-1. Jones lobs, and he's fouled by Templin.
And your money players got to make big-time shots in this moment right here. And Falslev, a big 3 to get it to 4, and then a 2-on-1 break right there for UNLV. A smart foul right there by Templin. Hopefully they don't move that to a flagrant foul right here, that would really put Utah State in a bad situation.
And that is what is being discussed by our officials right now with 48.4 to play and a 4-point UNLV lead.
And Templin's in a tough spot. To me, that's just a basketball play. You can see right here, Templin just goes at him. He pushes with two hands. And here comes the refs over here to tell us.
Rob Kuhneman looking at the possible flagrant common foul on the floor.
And you can see the flagrant right here would be detrimental to Utah State. But Templin saw himself in a tough situation with the 2-on-1 play right there. The one thing I worry about is the two-hand shove.
Does that meet the criteria for a flagrant one?
And you see it, and again, here we go with another replay of it. You can see what Templin's trying to do. I think Tyron Jones is a good little actor right there, throwing back. Templin is a big kid. I think in this situation right here, let's go common foul and let's play on.
Just to play devil's advocate, not just the hands, he did not seem to be playing the ball. Jones has that ball elevated, the pass is going away, and Templin stays focused on the body there of Tyron Jones.
He's late. The ball does get out of his hands. He's late getting there, and he puts two hands on him. He's stuck in a tough situation in the 2-on-1, about to give up a layup to Emmanuel Steffen.
Just to reiterate what is at stake, potentially just the 6th home loss in the last 4 seasons here for Utah State if UNLV can pull this off. Let's get the call.
After review, there is no flagrant foul on the play.
No upgrade on the play for Templin. It'll be a common foul, and therefore a 1-and-1 for Tyron Jones.
I think that's a good call. I think the officials did a good job coming together, looking at the monitor, looking at the video. I thought Templin meant no harm. He had the two hands. The ball was released. But I think that's just got to be a common foul in that situation. Good job by the referees. But now Tyron Jones, we talked about it. He's made free throws tonight, but he is 49%. He is a freshman, and he is on the road in front of the herd. But he's 8 for 10 tonight, where he's 49% on the year. He's been terrific from the free throw line, but none too bigger than this. Or none bigger than this, 1-and-1.
And he earns one more. It's a new season high for the freshman. UNLV as a team now at 80% at the charity stripe. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the conference entering this game.
We talked, if you were a scout here, you'd circle toughness by Tyron Jones. 9 for 11. He knocks this down. You're going to circle baller, player, winner.
Also looked like he had a major knee injury in the first half and has come on to have an incredible game. And it looked like we had a clock issue as Utah State was bringing the ball forward.
And for Utah State right here, down 6, UNLV is going to be in their zone again, the 1-1-3. But you're just down 2 possessions. You're down 6 points. I think if you have an opportunity to go quick, go early, and get something at the basket, get to the free throw line, take it. Don't settle for a 3 right now.
And now teams are being told to go to their benches. They got to go to the monitor and make sure they know exactly how much time to take off here. It's got to be at least a couple seconds with the ball being brought forward. And in a game that has been so tight, every second precious. 6-point lead for UNLV, and you see what is on deck for the Runnin' Rebels. This schedule really heats up. San Diego State and New Mexico at home before a trip to Nevada. Fresno State on the road as well, and then Grand Canyon at home. 4 out of those 5 teams having really good seasons.
If you're able to get this one tonight, it's your 2nd road win, which gives you +2. Winning on the road, it gives you +1. +2 be huge to set up a big game for San Diego State.
As for Utah State, they will have their 2nd game against Colorado State coming up on Friday. That was their largest margin of victory in the series when they beat them 100-58 back in the conference opener. And then they'll be back here at the Spectrum next week, taking on Wyoming, and a huge matchup against San Diego State on the 31st.
If you're Utah State right now, the thing you're probably most frustrated, you just gave up 84 at Grand Canyon. Defense is your identity. You only give up 66 points a game. And right now, on your home floor, UNLV has 82 points.
Well, and Utah State has lost this year. In both losses, they have allowed more than 80 points. So trend, obviously game situation, certainly working against them right here. Currently 48.1 on the clock. We expect another second or two to come off. Still a two-possession game. Utah State has not shot the three ball well in this second half, just 25%, but they've got a couple as of late. The most recent one from Mason Falslev, who's up to 21.
The last 2 years when Utah State's given up over 80, they are 5-6. That's kind of their recipe. They've got to hold teams under 80, but they've got time. Execute right here, score, get back in your press, try to cause UNLV to hurry up, get a turnover, and see if you can score off your press.
After review,
if you Josh Pastner,
the shot clock shall be reset at 27 seconds and the game clock at 45.6 seconds. Utah State basketball.
Shot clock's going to be reset to 27 seconds. It'll be Utah State's ball right above the coach's timeline. And if you're Josh Pastner, you just finished telling your guys, one stop, one stop, one stop, one stop.
Each team with one timeout. A UNLV foul would be a 1-and-1 for Utah State. Lobbed inside for Templin. Whips it across, deflected by Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn. He expected that cross-court pass. He's fouled by Elamine. And with 31.7 to go, UNLV is in the driver's seat.
The zone has really kept Utah State out of the paint, out of the free throw line area. UNLV's done a great job contesting threes. Tyron Jones, it won't be on a stat sheet, but his contested corner threes, 4 different times, has proved instrumental in the zone. And then Drake Gibbs-Longhorn, I think this UNLV team feeds off his energy and Tyron Jones' energy. Gibbs-Longhorn, he plays with a swagger. He's coming off 33 points against Boise a week ago. Tonight, helped them win a road game at San Jose State, and then played the last several minutes of this second half, played multiple minutes with 4 fouls. He guarded with his hands behind his back, Nick.
Here's a three from Allen off the front of the rim, and the rebound tracked down by Howie Fleming Jr. Talking about 4 fouls, Fleming and Gibbs-Lawhorn, they've been playing since about the 10.5, 11-minute mark with those 4 fouls. They have not picked up a 5th, and they're on the verge of a signature win here in Josh Pastner's early tenure.
A win at Memphis we talked about, a win at Stanford, and now a win at Utah State. And the best thing Josh Pastner's done with this team, they lost 3 bye games. Tennessee Martin, Tennessee State, and Montana. His focus, build my culture, grit and toughness, and let's just continue to get better. And he sees his team, Nick, getting better as they head to the midway part of conference play. 5-2 headed home for San Diego State.
Just remarkable circumstances to be down 14. Several starters in foul trouble. And with a made free throw here by Howie Fleming Jr., they now lead by 10. A 24-point swing here in the second half. Collins rises. And a rebound won by Steffen. Hoists it up ahead. And that will allow UNLV to dribble out the clock.
And it's fitting Tyron Jones, with the effort he gave tonight, is the one that dribbles out the clock. A huge road win for the Running Rebels.
For the first time in nearly 10 years to the day, UNLV wins here in Logan. Now 5-2 in conference play, and the biggest win of the season so far for Josh Pastner and the Running Rebels.
I thought UNLV is very impressed. They handled adversity all night. They handled foul trouble. They handled injuries. And they were down double figures in the second half and double figures in the first half. And they weathered every storm.
UNLV closed the game on a 13-3 run to cement the victory. 21 for Trey Gibbs-Lawhorn, 20 for Tyron Jones. And UNLV fought their way to victory tonight here in Logan to hand the Aggies their first home loss of the season and only the 6th in the last 4 years. For our producer, Ryan Magaha, director, Jess Eichhorst, Steve Prohm, and our entire crew, Nick Cope saying good night from the Cache Valley. UNLV, the massive road win over Utah State, 86-76.